All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode today. My name is Alicia Curtis. I am your current Public Relations Manager for Founders District and Founders District. Today, we are joined by one of the world's top public speakers for 2026. After competing against more than 30,000 contestants from around the globe, Daniel Midson-Short has earned his spot in the final 28 of the World Championship of Public Speaking for 2026. Following his outstanding victory the other day, we now know that he'll be traveling to Vancouver, Canada to represent our district for 2026 in the semifinals of the Toastmasters International Convention in August. Congratulations and welcome, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. It's great to be here. Great to be in the contest. So, yeah, thank you for that lovely intro. That was amazing.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I really appreciate you coming out to do this random episode that we've been able to get you here today. And from one Aussie to another, Bonza!
Yes. I love it.
Absolutely. So, congratulations on your quarterfinal win. We all found out the news
Thank you.
about 48 hours ago. We got the email from Toastmasters International World Headquarters. What was going through your
Yes.
mind when you found that out and you realized you had earned another spot in that top 28?
Uh, Good question. I've been doing this quite a while now. This is my seventh time at this level. And I think for me this year, I was quite proud of my ability to detach a little bit. I actually kept my calm because I knew the results were coming early July. They told us that. And quite, I was proud of myself that I wasn't freaking out for once, which was nice. I thought, oh, I'm getting familiar with this. But then also on top of that, just extremely grateful because I know how many people want to be in this position. And I don't take that lightly. I know a lot of people work just as hard, probably even harder than I have, who knows, to get to this point, to go through all the different levels all the way up to district. And then that long wait between your district contest and region is tough because you're kind of not doing anything. Your video's already been recorded at district, it's been submitted, and now you're just kind of twiddling your thumbs and waiting and hoping. And course, everyone tells you you're going, you're going. There's no real proof of that, but you're just hoping. So yeah, I would say I was feeling quite calm, but also when the news came, very grateful and excited too. I love Vancouver. I've been there before, so I'm excited to go back.
Well, that's exciting. And I think on behalf of District or Founders District, we really congratulate you because I think this is what your sixth or seventh time that you've gone to the semifinals. Is that correct?
Seventh time, yes. Yes,
Wow.
that's crazy to say that in itself. Yeah.
Let's hope it's seventh time lucky. I mean, there's been a few around the world that have gone for 7 or 8 times. I think Jock Elliott from District 69, it took him 6 or 7 goes. Mark Hunter as
Yes.
well. All both of them being
Yes.
the world champions. Is it going to be your year
Yes.
this year?
We'll see. We'll see. I've had some good chats to Jock in the past, and he's taught me a lot about just letting it happen as it happens and controlling the controllables and enjoying the journey. So we'll see. I certainly hope so, but if not, we'll be back. So we'll see.
Well, as we know, there's 30,000 people. That's the estimate each year that compete in the international speech contest. They start at the club level, then they progress through the area division and finally get to the district final. And anyone who gets past, I reckon, up to the division level is an exceptional speaker. What was the biggest factor
Yes.
this year in helping you get to this level, especially the semi-finals?
The biggest factor I would say is I started to really focus on being more natural on stage. I think having done this for many years, you go through different phases of your speaking journey. I think when you start, you kind of emulate the other people, whether they're champions or professional speakers, and you kind of copy their style. And then you go through a phase where you want to be perfect. You want to be the best speaker you can. So every single word is counted, every gesture, every pause. And I think finally this year I started to say, you know what? Just breathe out a little bit, be yourself on stage more, and trust the process a bit, as corny as that might sound. There's something in that where you just say, you know what? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. We'll see how it goes. Doesn't mean I didn't practice and I didn't rehearse and write everything out the same, but once I got to a certain point, I would say I feel like I can trust my skill and experience enough just to go with what I've got. So that was one part of it, genuinely trying to be myself more on stage, which I think I achieved quite well. I felt good coming off the stage at district for that. And then the other side of it too is just really as sort of strange as this sounds, is giving the speech to the audience. You know, we say you give a speech, but a lot of the time people are just delivering a speech. They're just reciting a speech. I think I finally started to understand, oh, I'm giving this speech to the audience. It's for them. I'm giving it to them, hopefully, so that they get something from it, whether it's entertainment or a message, something like that, a feeling, whatever it might be, a connection. And so that's the other thing I think kind of motivated me more this year was let's really connect and give this speech. Again, silly as that sounds, but that's really what we forget sometimes as professionals.
Absolutely. And it's about that connection and making sure that the audience understands you connecting. It's like being that bridge of connection from the island, from one island to another. And do you think that you've
Yes.
got the speech that is going to connect all the islands of the world to you this year?
I don't know. You never know, right? I think you have to come from a personal place, and you got something that means something to you, and hopefully the people closest to you when they hear it, and hopefully that spans out. I always try to have some sort of universal theme of something in my speeches so that it relates to everyone. But obviously, everyone has different circumstances and life stages. So I hope that it does. And more than anything, I just hope that it's relatable and it feels human because, as I said in the past, I think I've been too polished, too professional, too obsessive. And sometimes it would feel almost like there was a bit of a glass wall between myself and the people I'm supposed to be speaking with. I'm just speaking to them. And over the last couple of years, especially, I've felt like I'm starting to break that glass or bring that screen down and just, hey, this is me. This is my experience. Hopefully, it's of value to you and hopefully you relate.
Well, fingers crossed that it is because, seven times, and hopefully seventh, not the eighth or the ninth, the seventh time that you do get your opportunities,
Yeah,
especially in Vancouver. I
we'll
think
see.
it's going to be first time it's actually outside of, I think, the USA other than the Bahamas in the last few years. So this is quite exciting as well.
Yes.
So you get to travel.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, so I've been fortunate to in 2014 I went to Kuala Lumpur and competed there. So that was amazing to see that culture and to be part of that there and then several times in the US and then Vancouver in 2017. So this will be my second time going back to Vancouver. It's a gorgeous city. A lot like Australia I felt actually like Sydney itself around the harbour and everything. So for me I kind of felt at home there. And then, yeah, obviously the last couple of years, I went to the Bahamas as well, which was incredible. Very, very, very humid, but beautiful place. And yeah, it was incredible. So, yeah, I'm grateful to be back, and Canada's a fun place. So, looking forward to going.
Excellent. And what are you looking most forward to about going to Vancouver this year and competing there? Like, what is it that really excites you, especially with connecting with the fellow Toastmasters from around the globe? But what's one specific thing you would say that you are looking forward to?
I I think feeling my own sense of growth through the contest, as yeah, strange as that sounds, but every time I come away from a contest, I just feel like I've just leveled up a little bit. Probably because of all the prep you do beforehand, and then the final delivery of the semi-final, and hopefully the final speech. It's almost like it's done. It's the final delivery after all the rehearsal, and after that comes a sort of a bumping up of your growth. So I think for me, that's what I enjoy the most now. That's what I finally realized why I keep doing it. Trophies are nice. We'll have some trophies and awards and certificates, but it's actually what they represent. It's the development. And so I think that's where I look forward to that. On the flip side, the other thing I really love is obviously I've made a ton of great friends over the years, co-competitors, people who, we have to stand side by side on stage and compete with each other, but we're actually all good friends. That's really, really rewarding too. Ironically, you want them to win just as much as you. And I've been fortunate now to have two of my good friends actually become world champions, and I made friends with a lot of the past champs as well. And it's just, I would say, as rewarding for me to see that, as eventually when I do win and take that title as well. I think it's just as important to me to see others succeed now. And that's really part of the Toastmasters ethos, I think.
Excellent. And one last question. If you could give any tip or advice to any aspiring Toastmaster who wants to go through this process that you've gone through this year and you've been through six other times as well, what's that one thing that you would like to see them achieve in the World Championship of Public Speaking? If you could give them a tip.
Yeah, wow. My initial instinct is saying, "Don't do it. You'll drive yourself crazy." I'm just kidding. There's definitely a level of insanity that comes in, especially for those long time people who've been doing it. I know some people come in and win quickly, and that's amazing if you can somehow pull that off. But for the vast majority, it takes a long time, a lot longer than you expect, I think. And there is a tendency, I think, in Toastmasters at the club level or even area, division, district level to get kind of comfortable in your little home territory. And I've noticed for myself a lot of speakers who they've been in the same area for a lot or environment for a long time. They think they're quite good speakers, and there's nothing wrong with that to have that confidence. But then when they put themselves in another environment competitively, they say, "Oh, there's other people who are just as good or better than me." That's when you really start learning. And if you talk to Daniel in 2014, that was my first year competing. I was going to win the world championship that year. It was going to be easy, no problem. I'm going to knock this out in 1 year because I'm the best. Because that's all everyone had told me. Yeah, I was going to be the greatest speaker in history, and we know how that went. It did not happen. And Dananjaya Hetirachi took the title and is probably the best world champion to date, in my opinion. And so I think you learn very, very quickly when you compete. Oh, there's a whole world out here, and I'm just one little drop in the ocean. And so I would say the advice would be keep at it. Just go into it with an open mind, with the willingness to learn. Certainly have an ambition to win because that's what drives you. But you'll realize along the way, I think that the winning is actually secondary to, like I was saying before, the development, the growth, and the character. There's something that is very rare in Toastmasters competitions for adults in that we put ourselves in a position to fail. If you think about it, people have children and they put them in sports and plays and different things at school and whatever, publicly in a place where they can fail and make mistakes. As adults, we don't do that a lot to ourselves. And so this is one position, ironically, where you can publicly stand up and not succeed and have to deal with it. And there's one of the toughest things you'll ever have to do is stand on a stage after you haven't won and be happy for other people who have. But there's a lot of character that comes from that too. So even if you don't get your ultimate goal straight away, go for it because the character that you develop, that actually is the reward, I think, at the end of the day.
Well, thank you for sharing your journey today with us, Daniel, and
Of
congratulations on
course.
behalf of Founders District from all the district leaders and all the members. I thank you personally, and I also thank you on behalf of the district for this incredible achievement and wish you every success in Vancouver. We will definitely all be cheering you on. I'm going to try and see if we can host
Thank
a
you.
watch party for your
Amazing. Thank
semi-final,
you.
and if you have the opportunity to get to that next level, which we hope you do, fingers crossed, we will hopefully have another watch party for the World Championship of Public Speaking semi-final. And for Founders District, the Toastmasters International Speech Contest semi-finals for the World Championship of Public Speaking will take place this August 2026 at the International Convention in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. The convention and semi-finals will be held from August 19 to August 22, 2026. We thank Daniel very much for joining us today. Thank you so much
Thank you.
and have a
Thank you
great
so much, Alicia.
day. Okay.